Hello, my friends. I just had to get this off my chest. Somebody just sent me a video and it said that I don't even know the date, but I guess that it's Trump's birthday and they want everybody to go around and change their profile picture or share pictures of Obama. I don't really understand. I understand being petty, and I'm all about being petty sometimes, but I don't know what you think you're accomplishing. That's my issue with everything right now. I don't understand some of the things that people do. What are we actually accomplishing here? All of us collectively, I don't care what side you're on, we're all wanting change right now. And before you even go there, my name's Michelle. I'm not left or right. I am not Democrat. I am not Republican. My views, my ethics align with socialism. Ooh, scary word. I get it. I'm on the side of humanity. I want what's best for everyone. Just because you voted for somebody that I'm not a fan of, I don't think that you need to lose your business. I don't think that you need to lose your livelihood. All people deserve to have a roof over their heads. All people deserve to have access to food. But here we all are. Not me anymore. But here so many people are allowing billionaires to divide us. I'm going to say that again. Billionaires to divide us. You know, us, we the people, the working class. Because fun fact, it does not matter who is in charge of this country. Supreme Court, president, none of it. All of us are still going to be different. Doesn't matter who's in charge of this country. Normalize the differences. You think by putting a ban on trans people going to the military means that there's not going to be trans people anymore? You think that telling a woman what she can and cannot do with her own body is going to stop abortions? No, it's not. There's still going to be abortions. They're just going to be much more dangerous. I believe that it is your right. If you don't believe in gay marriage, let's use gay marriage. If you don't believe in that, that is your right. And this is coming from a lifetime gold star gay person, okay? That is okay. You do not have to believe it. You can think that it's a sin. You can think whatever you want. But that should not give you the right, the government, anybody to, just because you don't believe in that means that you get to dictate and control what I do in my life. If you're a very religious person and you believe in God and going to the church, I truly love that for you. Honestly, I do. But because I do not have that same belief or that same faith does not make me a bad person. It does not make me wrong to feel that way. We are just different people, and we will all always be different people. Normalize it, okay? Now back to this whole picture thing. There is so much unnecessary shit that's happening that it's not creating any kind of change. And I know that we see Cory Booker, we see him standing for 24 hours and then we see him sitting on the steps and talking, and having the public come up. I personally feel like it's extremely performative because at the end of the day, you can do all that talking, but there's no action behind it. You mean to tell me that you think that you're going to sit on those steps and you're going to hope that that sways Republicans' votes? That's not going to happen. We all collectively know that. But they all know that we are grasping for anything. Seeing things like that, it gives us hope. And that's all we want. We want these people to be on our side. We want these people to create positive changes. We want that so bad. These people that we vote into office that are supposed to do what's best for us. We all want them to do that. But the reality of it, friends, and I get that this is a really hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, they do what's best for them. I'm not a fan of Trump, I never have been. But I'm not a fan of any president. We all get fed lies, and that's why we vote. And we're also tricked, and don't even get me started with being tricked in this whole two-party system. The whole two-party system, that's how they divide us. But that's for another video. We are all so hopeful that somebody higher up has our backs. And at the end of the day, these politicians are going to do what's best for them. They always have. They always will. I've been seeing so many protests happening across our nation. And I remember back in 2020 when it came to the BLM and the protests here in my city, Fort Wayne, Indiana, I remember holding those signs and I remember screaming these chants and I remember just tears flowing because looking around and seeing all of these people, we are all here collectively for the same thing, even though some of us have many differences. But collectively, we all want change and we're all here, and it made me so emotional. And you know what it gave me? It gave me hope. All of that protesting, all of the thing, what changed? What changed? And I know that it sucks to hear that because again, we want to believe that those things are going to create change. Peaceful protesting will never create change. Now, when I look at my city and I see all those protesters out there, of course I'm going to support them because damn it, they want something. They want something good. But what I see when I look at all of them out there protesting, my question is, how many people here do you know? And if you don't know any of these people out here, have you tried to get to know them? Because protesting is a lot more than just holding signs and chanting. You're surrounded by like-minded people. Why would you not go and try to get to know these people and start organizing? And I know this might sound a little bit backwards, but when you want to create big change, you start within your own communities. Because I'll say it time and time again, at the end of the day, all you have is your neighbors. All you have are the people within your community. Get to know them. I don't care what kind of flag they're fucking flying on their porch. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't homophobic people. I'm not saying that there aren't racist people. I'm not saying any of that. There are bad eggs in every group of people. That does not mean that they are all bad. And that's where one of the big issues is people don't get to know their neighbors. People, when you go to these protests, you're just like, yeah, like here's my sign. Here's all of this. I don't agree with what's happening. All right, let's go get brunch now. It doesn't do anything. And I'm sorry if you don't like to hear that. I'm being real with you. And I'm going to also be real with you people who are applauding these billionaires and these changes that they're making. Because the majority of people that are applauding these billionaires and making all of these cuts and making themselves richer are also the people that are just like, our vets, support our vets, right? You know what I'm talking about. And yet you don't think that it's wrong to have billionaires, multimillionaire, billionaire, whatever, rich people. But we have over 70,000 homeless vets within our own country. I thought you cared about the vets. Why do we have these billionaires buying these mega yachts for hundreds of millions of dollars, but we can't even take care of our vets? I thought you cared about the vets. How could any person think that it's acceptable to have billionaires when we have poverty, when there are children that go to bed without dinner? There are families that do not have roofs over their heads. You have one man, Elon Musk, who could end world hunger, literally, and still be a billionaire with a B, but he doesn't do it. Why would you not do that? I mean, would you? I would do that. No questions asked. If you don't want to think globally, fine. In the United States, could end it. We have more vacant homes in the United States than we do homeless people. But there's no profits, when it comes to putting homeless people, giving them a home, putting a roof over their heads. They don't make money on that, so why would they do that? We should all collectively have an issue with that, a big issue. But for some reason, you don't focus on that. You want to focus on things that don't even exist. Like you're freaking out about a drag queen reading a book to kids when there's literally no proof that anything bad has come from that. But there's plenty of proof of bad things happening in Catholic churches, but you don't protest that. You stay silent on that. And that's something I can't wrap my head around. And again, I'm not here to attack any side of anything. I'm just trying to be real with you. Back to the protesting, another thing that I don't understand, like what you're trying to accomplish here. There is a grown man within my city that at every protest, if any person drives past with my cousin, for example, my cousin voted for Donald Trump. I don't like it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's his right as an American to vote how he wants. And also, if he wants to put those stupid ass flags on his truck, and yes, I tell him that's stupid, but I don't care who it is. I don't care if you got a rainbow flag. I don't care if you got anything like that. I think it's stupid. Why are you flying these giant flags from your truck? I think all of you look like a bunch of silly gooses when it comes to that. But you had this grown man going up to his truck when he drove past the protest with a megaphone saying, "You have a little wiener, you have a little wiener." Now, I'm immature, and I think that is funny, right? But I also think that that's projection. And what are you accomplishing by doing that? It's only creating more division. It only pisses more people off. Just like I told my cousin, going and driving past the protest, and someone was trying to rip his flags off. And it's like, I don't think that that's right. I don't think that you should try to damage someone's property, but you're also poking a bear, buddy. And you know that. People need to learn class consciousness. We are all the working class. So at the end of the day, whether you want to drive past with your flags on your truck to, it's your right to protest, I agree with that. But also to be yelling at the protesters and the protesters trying to attack and all of that you are literally working class people going after working class people. You're going after your own people that are just a bit different from you. Personally, I don't think that what Trump is doing benefits the working class people. I don't. That is my opinion. I'm allowed to have it, and you can have a different opinion. You're allowed to have that. But I do have a question. Trump was on TV saying that gas was down to $1.98. Where? I need to know where you're at and where is $1.98 at, because that's not happening here. And also that egg prices dropped 90%. Where, please? I'd like to know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with calling out lies and bullshit, because that's what those things are. They are lies and bullshit. And again, it's not just an attack on him, because they all do it. They feed us lies and bullshit. Start organizing. Start getting to know the people within your community. Start to get to know your neighbors. And if you don't know how to go about doing that, like they did back in the day, it's just like, hey, can you go next door and ask Susie if I can get a cup of sugar? Does she have a couple of eggs, glass of milk? One small random act of kindness can completely change the way somebody might look at you, what they might already think about you before even getting to know you. Bake your neighbor some fucking cookies. Put it on the porch. What's that? You're growing some tomatoes in your garden and you have a little extra? Go see if your neighbor wants some. And I will say it again. I understand that there are bad eggs out there. I'm not saying that everybody's wonderful, because they're not. That's just a reality of things. But there is no change that's going to be made until we get some class consciousness, class solidarity. Divided, we fall. And then that's just, I mean, we watch it. We're watching it. Think about the things you're saying and doing, and what kind of change are you actually trying to create with that? Again, I am on the side of humanity. I think everybody should have food. I think everybody should be able to afford their bills. I think everybody should get, fair pay. There should not be billionaires running our country when minimum wage is still $7.25. We should all have an issue with that. I love all people. Even if some of you don't love me, that's fine, whatever. The one thing that all of us are taught early on in childhood is treat people how you want to be treated. What happened to that? Why do people not do that? What happened to compassion? What happened to humanity? I know right now is a scary time for a lot of people. And if you don't understand what I'm saying when I say that, then consider yourself privileged. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but if you are not a person that is affected or scared by the changes that are happening within our government, you must be at a spot of privilege, or respectfully, just ignorant to the things that's actually happening. I think so many people are just headline readers. They read a headline and think they know the whole story instead of just reading the article, We're to the point now, friends, that peaceful anything isn't going to get us anywhere. And I know that that's scary. It's very scary. I get it. And I know a lot of you are going to be in the comments and be like, okay, then what do you suggest? Me, personally, what I suggest is fucking with their money. And I've been saying that for the longest time. You have got to affect their money, because that's all they care about at the end of the day. I don't know about any of you, but if I had to listen to one rich person, I don't care where you are, if you're rich, I could not stand hearing them talking about gas prices, egg prices. That doesn't affect you. You are wealthy. But again, they're going to continue to bring those things up because those types of things divide us. And that's what they want, is for us to stay divided. You want some change? Come together. And if you're a racist, or you're homophobic, or you're like anti-feminine, any of those kinds of things, go ahead. Go bye. The things that are happening right now are not creating any change. You got Bernie and AOC going around and you're getting these big turnouts and these crowds, and they're saying all of these things that, again, give people hope, but they're not telling us what to do. Why is that? Why aren't you, give us a plan? Tell us what we need to do. And let's be honest, it's not voting. It's not signing petitions. There needs to be action taken by we, the people. And I truly believe it would only take one of them saying, hey, listen, we got to take action. If they said something like that, people would start taking action, but they don't say it. And to me, that shows that they don't want action to be taken. It's all talk. And I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. Again, this is a part of the deconstructing. In 2020, I had hope. I was voting. I was protesting. I'm doing all of the things. And there has been no change. Things have only gotten worse. Once we get past the fact that neither one of these sides has our best interest at heart, then the ball will start to roll. Once we get some collective class consciousness, then we can start to create change. But until then, nothing's going to change. Nothing. I'm not putting any ex-president, current president, any politician at all. I'm not posting pictures of them. I'm not doing anything like that, because we are not supposed to idolize politicians. They're public servants. They work for us, which should also make you all question the people that you work for. Okay. They're wealthy, right? They have money because they profit off of your labor, right? That's how they get so rich, is off of your labor. Then why is it the other way around when it comes to politicians? The people that work for us, why are they so wealthy? Why are they so rich? They work for us. Shouldn't we be the ones that are like thriving? Shouldn't we be the ones being able to go to our lake houses? And I mean, maybe some of you do, but like I don't. I've never had it like that. They work for us, but are doing way better than most of us. It doesn't make sense. Capitalism benefits capitalists. Capitalists are the people who can afford to purchase capital, who can afford to own something. And the majority of us can't do that. Most people can't do that anymore. Anyways, that's just me venting. I want so bad for us all to just come together. And I know it's easier said than done. And I know I'm doing a lot of talking here. I know some people are going to agree. I know some people are going to disagree. And that's okay. I just want to make people think. I want you to start to think, to actually think about these things. Because what do they say? Together we rise, divided we fall. We're falling. Like, literally, we're going down. And I don't want that for any of us. I want the economy to be good. I want all of these good things for all of us. And you want to know something? If Trump can do that, I'll give credit where credit's due. But I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any of those things. I want what's best for you, and I want what's best for me. And divided, we're not going to accomplish that. I love each and every one of you because, yeah, you know what? We're all different, but at the end of the day, we're all humans and we deserve respect and love. Unless you're racist, you can get the fuck out of here with all that. Sorry, not sorry. I do not love races. Start looking into local grassroots organizations. Start helping with mutual aid. Put your hard-earned money back into your community. Support small local businesses. And I'm not saying to be perfect because there's no such thing as perfect. I'm saying to try to choose to be better. Be more mindful. Because I promise you, friends, those little itty-bitty changes, if we all make these little itty-bitty changes, it can make a huge change. Because collectively, we have the power. Now let's get our head out of our asses, okay? And start trying to create some real change. That's all I got for now, okay? All right. Love you, bye.